Good morning. My name is Marc Metzger. I'm a professor here at the University of Edinburgh, where I also direct the Centre for Sustainable Forests and Landscapes. And it's my pleasure to welcome you here to the Edinburgh Futures Institute. Just as a wee bit of an icebreaker, how many people were born in this building? Please raise your hand. Because there's always a few. And for some people, it's the first time they're back since they were born. So if that's the case, welcome back. So before saying a few more words to set the context, I'll go through the obligatory logistics for the day. So there are no fire drills planned, so if the fire alarm does go, there are fire exits behind you, which will lead you to a staircase and out to a safe place. Or if you go through the doors behind me, straight across the corridor, you're out on a grass lawn. So get out of the building if the fire alarm goes off. You'll be pleased to know we have restrooms in the building, but they're slightly tucked away. It's out of the doors behind me to the right, through a set of doors, and then to the right again. Today's event is being recorded, but only the speakers in the panel, so there's no cameras on the audience. But there may be some photographs taken during the day, and if you do not want to be in any of those photographs when they get posted on social media or sort of follow-up promotion material, then let Sally know. I think you've all met Sally, or at least communicated with Sally. She can make sure that you are blurred out or not part of any pictures that are shown anywhere. You'll also be pleased to know we have a couple of breaks scheduled. So at 11 o'clock we'll have our coffee break, at 1 o'clock a lunch break, at 3:30 another coffee break, and then we'll end at 5:30 in this venue, but we'll continue for a reception in the rooftop bar. I had to emphasize the bar part by one of our committee members, but we very much encourage you all to come with us for an informal drink and a further chat with a great view of the castle and beyond. So I'm very excited for today's event. I've been part of the leadership group for the Scottish Forum on Natural Capital since it was formed in 2013 during the first World Conference on Natural Capital. This event was organised by the Scottish Wildlife Trust, and at the time we were in a period of austerity following the financial crash. There's very limited money for conservation. The Wildlife Trust wanted to reframe how we think about biodiversity with its important role for society and the economy. So they organised this big global event, but importantly also wanted to have a spin-off for Scotland, and that was the Scottish Forum on Natural Capital. Over the past 15 years, we've gone on quite a journey from the conceptualization and thinking about what is natural capital and how do we communicate this message to a situation of operationalization, putting it in practice, using this thinking to try to get funding for nature restoration and nature conservation. It's not all been plain sailing, and I certainly don't want to underplay the challenges and concerns that some people have for using this approach. And I'm sure these will also be discussed during today's event. But the main focus today is on demonstrating that despite hurdles, in Scotland, we're moving from commitment to action. So the event is really about showing how we can get into action and deliver more nature restoration through thinking about nature finance and natural capital. Today's programme has been framed as a journey. We start with the why, with the Scottish Government policy drivers, the Task Force on Nature-Based Disclosures, the Science-Based Targets initiatives, to the how of public funding de-risking, and finally to the what with showcases of investable products. I'm sure we'll have rich insights today. We have a very diverse audience and a really good crowd. As you may know, the tickets for this event were snapped up within 4 hours of it going live on social media, on LinkedIn, so that just shows how popular it is. And we have a mix here of policymakers, financial institutions, project developers, corporate adopters, and also a few other academics like myself. And really strengthening the connections between these different groups and collaborations between these groups, that is what we want to achieve through today's event. So chat to each other, make these connections, think about future collaborations, and then this day will have been a success. So to start today's event, I'm delighted to introduce Mairi Gougeon, our Cabinet Secretary for Rural Affairs, Land Reform and Islands, who's recorded a short message for us. She unfortunately can't be here in person. And following that recorded presentation, Dr. Hannah Rudman, the co-chair of the Scottish Forum on Natural Capital, she will host our first panel. So we hope you enjoy today's event. And I'm supposed to click next so that the video can start.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm genuinely pleased to join you, even if it is through a screen rather than in person. But I just want to begin by recognising the important work that each of you is doing to shape Scotland's nature finance landscape. So whether your focus is research, investment, community engagement or environmental delivery, it's your contribution that really matters, and I'm truly grateful to you for this. Scotland's natural environment is extraordinary. Our forests, peatlands, rivers, seas, they're all fundamental to our existence and just make our daily lives possible. They give us clean air and water, food and energy, store carbon, protect us from floods, and provide the spaces that support our general health and well-being. But for too long, society has taken these things for granted, placing them at risk. We need to see our natural capital as a core asset for both our economy and our well-being. Its value is already huge. Nature-dependent industries generate more than £40 billion a year and support over 260,000 jobs. Now, these numbers show why this work is so important. It links directly to Scotland's national strategy for economic transformation and our commitment to building a high-integrity, values-driven market that supports responsible investment in restoring and enhancing nature. Government continues to invest significantly, from creating new woodlands to restoring peatlands, and we're proud of that. But we also know that government alone can't meet the scale of the challenge. Restoring Scotland's natural environment is something we all share responsibility for. Unlocking responsible private investment is essential if we're going to move at the pace required. Now, the good news is that progress is already happening. Across Scotland, communities, land managers, investors, environmental organisations and government are rethinking how we restore nature and invest in it. Done well, high-integrity nature markets can bring real benefits. New funding, large-scale restoration and more resilient rural economies. But integrity is crucial. As with any new market, people need clarity and safeguards. We want Scotland to be known not just for ambition, but for doing this properly, ensuring communities are involved, local voices are heard, and investment strengthens the places where people live and work. Now, when we have private finance, we want it to be done with integrity and in a responsible way. And that's why Scotland's natural capital market framework is so important. Its 6 high integrity principles provide a foundation people can trust. We're already putting the framework into practice. Through programmes like Ferns, delivered with the National Lottery Heritage Fund, we've supported dozens of projects to build capability and move closer to investment readiness. And through our work with the British Standards Institution on the UK Nature Investment Standards Programme, we're helping to bring clarity and consistency to emerging market practice. The new BSI Community Standard, co-funded by the Scottish Government, will set out good practice for community engagement and community benefit for nature markets. And it really will help make sure that people living and working in these landscapes genuinely share in the gains from investment. Now, today brings together the people and ideas that are shaping the future in nature finance in Scotland. It's a chance to learn, connect and keep pushing forward. As you take part in today's discussions, I'd encourage you to think about one question. What more can we do together to remove the barriers, strengthen integrity and really scale up the right kind of investment where it matters most? Thank you once again for everything that you're doing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.